first step is to sketch out the layout. For this drawing, I'll be using a simple grid to help me keep the details and features accurate. Every once in a while, I'll use a divider to measure my drawing and make sure that it's proportional to my reference. A divider is basically just a tool that artists use to measure the width of something in a drawing and then compare it to the reference. If you don't have a divider, you can just use another tool like a ruler. Okay, now it's time for the shading. Figuring out where to start shading on a drawing like this can seem a bit daunting. So I always like to start with the easiest areas first, and that's usually the eyes or the nose. I won't try to render any area in great details right now. My main goal at this point is just to work on each area a little bit so that the form and dimension of the portrait can start to take shape. That way, it will be much easier for me to look at the drawing and know what I need to do to make it look more realistic. Next, I'll shade the mouth a bit. I'll give the lips some small cracks and wrinkles. And give the teeth some contour. For the eyes, I'll fill in the pupil first. It's very important to leave a little catchlight in the pupil. This is what's going to make the eyes look like they're alive. The other important detail is to put a shadow underneath the eyebrows. This is a shadow cast by the brow ridge onto the top of the eyes. This will help make the brow ridge look like it's protruding out. Next are the ears. For this drawing, the ears are a bit of a challenge. This orc's ear is rather deformed and there's a lot of weird details going on there. So for the most part, I had to draw on my anatomical knowledge of ears and improvise a lot of the details. This is a good reason why knowing anatomy is so helpful. Sometimes you'll be working with references that either has missing or really complex details, and by knowing anatomy, you'll be able to fill in the blank and still draw something convincing. You can even make changes to the reference if you want. For instance, upon looking at the ear, I decided that it had too much details and that it was distracting from the face. So I erased some of the creases and made it simpler. Next is the forehead. This is quite a large area. So to help me quickly cover it with a base tone, I'll take a dark pencil and scrape some graphite onto a piece of paper. Then I'll use a small piece of toilet paper to spread the graphite onto the drawing. Be very gentle with your blending at first, as you never know how much graphite the toilet paper picked up, and you don't want to make your drawing too dark. An added bonus to this technique is that the texture of the toilet paper will also give the forehead a subtle skin texture. Then I'll use a blending stump to refine the details. Now we have to put in some wrinkles in the forehead to really sell the orc's angry expression. A wrinkle will be darkest right at the center of the fold, and then gradually lightens as it moves outward. So to create this effect, I will draw in the wrinkle with a pencil as a simple line, and then use a tortillon to soften it out. With wrinkles, it's better to be more light and subtle. If you make them too dark, they can become quite distracting. I noticed that the tilt of the right nostril is a bit too vertical, so I erased it and drew it again. If you notice a mistake in your drawing, don't be afraid to erase it and fix it. It might be a bit of work, but it will be very worth it in the end. This drawing actually took me about 10 hours over several days. When working on a long project like this, it's good to take frequent breaks so that when you come back, you can look at your drawing with fresh eyes. You'll notice mistakes that you otherwise would have missed. For instance, after one break, I noticed that the wrinkles on the forehead are too high up. The wrinkles are supposed to be caused by the eyes pulling together and up. So it doesn't make sense for them to be so far up the forehead. So I erased them and moved them down a bit. For the beard, I used short, quick strokes and varied up the direction every now and then to give it a rough, chaotic look. And then I'll blend it out with a tortillon so that the individual strokes doesn't stand out too much. Also, I try to create clumps of hair here and there, as that's how hair naturally grows. The beard looked a little bit out of place standing there all by itself, so I'm going to draw in the body to balance out the composition. The right side of the body looks a little bare compared to the left, so I decided to add in a leather strap, as if he's wearing some sort of armor that's hanging from it. Before continuing with shading the rest of the body, I'm going to use my kneaded eraser to add in some highlights. This will help me see what the drawing looks like so far, so that I know what needs to be added. And now I'll fill in the rest of the body. For this drawing, there are two light sources, coming from both the left and the right. However, the light on the right is stronger, So for the necklace, the highlights will be on the right side and the shadows will be on the left side. Now that the body is shaded in, the face looks a little bit light. So I'm going to go back and darken the tones in the face to add more contrast. And now for my favorite part of the drawing, picking out the highlights. I'll use my kneaded eraser and put a highlight at the outer edge of the face and body. This is when you get to see your drawing really come alive. I'll also put some highlights in the beard and darken it to make it look more voluminous. And add in some cast shadow for the armors. And lastly, I'll use cross-hatching to give the armor some texture. And that's it, we're all done. For this week's giveaway, the prize will be a $20 Amazon gift card and the signed drawing in this video. To win, all you have to do is click on that link right there to go to the Facebook post for this lesson. Then simply share and like the post to enter. A winner will be randomly selected on this date, so make sure you get your submission in before then. By the way, congratulations to the winner of the previous giveaway. Please just respond to the Facebook message I sent you to claim your prize. If you like this video, please help me out and share it with your friends on your favorite social network. Also, I release a new video every Friday, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, happy drawing.